Two adults can look at the same child and walk away with completely different conclusions. And what's interesting is they both feel like they're right. I've been in conversations like this more times than I can count. Two adults are talking about the same child, the same moment, the same behavior. But when they describe what happened, it sounds like they're talking about two completely different children. One might say they're being disrespectful. They weren't listening. They were out of line. And the other might say, that's not how I know them. That's not what I usually see. Something else must have been going on. Same child, same moment, different conclusion.
So, what's actually happening there? It's not just disagreement, it's perspective. Because often those two adults are not looking at the same thing. One is focused on the behavior they saw, what happened in that moment, what was visible, what needed to be addressed. And the other is looking at the child within context, who they are, what they've seen over time, what might be influencing that moment. And when those two perspectives aren't named, that's where the disconnect happens. Because one person is responding to behavior and the other is trying to understand the child. And if we don't slow that down, we stay stuck in misinterpretation. Because behavior without context only tells part of the story. So the conversation shifts from what actually happened here to who's right. And once we get there, we're no longer trying to understand, we're trying to prove a point. But what if instead of deciding who's right, we got curious about what each person is noticing? You might ask, what stood out to you in that moment? Or, what are you seeing that I might be missing? Because both perspectives are giving you information. One is telling you what is visible, the other is pointing toward what might be underneath. And when you bring those together, you get a clearer picture, not just of the behavior, but of the child. Because what we notice first often shapes what we believe is happening. And if we only stay at the surface, we risk mislabeling, we risk misunderstanding, we risk missing the child completely. So next time you find yourself in a conversation like that, pause. And instead of deciding who's right, ask what each person is seeing. Because understanding doesn't come from picking a side. It comes from seeing the full picture. Thank you for taking the time to be here. I'm Faith, and this is Cultural SEL. I share practical tools and reflections that connect social emotional learning with culture, identity, and belonging, so children feel confident in who they are, where they come from, and how they move across different spaces. Check the description for tools and resources.